Hi and welcome to this Leo-inspired July 2025 reading. I am not a fortune teller and I am not an astrologer, but I am a card reader that taps into the story and the, how can I say that? I'm still trying to figure out what my intro should be. But yeah, in general, I want to say, I do work with the symbolism of the tarot, I do work with the symbolism of Western astrology, but I don't do predictions. I tap into a situation, maybe we can find deeper layers of consciousness, new angles, maybe some inspiration, and maybe some just lightness for our situation or understanding. So I see the tarot as a creative way to self-reflect, and I find it very, very fascinating. So thanks for being here, and for the people who don't know me, welcome, and please subscribe if you want. All right, let's see. First part of the reading is always a general situation, second part a relationship dynamic. So stick with me if you're interested in relationships as well. That's two cards. Well, let's go with it. Oh, wow. Okay, we need those two cards. We have a Knight of Swords and the Ten of Cups. Leo-inspired people, or who identify with the symbolism. There is, I think, a very, very, very strong realization for you right now. And we're coming into Leo season as well. What happiness and emotional fulfillment looks like for you, and what strategy you need to get there. It's very, very clear. With the Knight of Swords, this is an amazing combination. I love this because with the Ten of Cups, we're really like not taking any less. We're like, this is how I want to live my, oh, sorry, wrong card. This is how I want to live my life on an emotional level with all the people surrounding me. Also, of course, yes, with a partnership, maybe a close partnership or more partnerships, but this is how I also share this emotional richness and this joy and this happiness I have. So this is like, that's why this card is called satiety. It's like when we are full, we are not hungry for anything anymore. We have everything that we need on an emotional level, and it's very, very, it's overflowing. It's overflowing. It's the ideal state. So we might have an understanding what that means for us or how that feels. And we might also gain more clarity and more strategy to get there. So I'm not sure if it seems more like a realization of some sort, or a realization that you can get there with the right strategy. You can get there. It is a realization that we know what it should feel like, that we've maybe felt it before, because we do feel this always again, you know. It's like nothing too permanent, but that's always the end goal on an emotional level. If you have it all the time, of course, we wouldn't appreciate it, but right now it's very, very possible, and it seems like you have a way to make it possible here with the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is a card of in a way emotional detachment, which is also interesting, but it's more like a card of seeing things on a very analytical level, on a very clear level, on a very logical level, and also intellectualizing something maybe also, and therefore also finding a really good strategy. It could also be just a card that gives you the drive to know exactly where you want to be. Because the Knight of Swords is, as you can see, straight to the point. He has his goal in mind and he's getting there very, very quick. So, wow, love that. We love that. So what we're bringing into this situation, oh, wow, very stable, very, very stable. The Knight of Discs, and in the Crowley deck, we cannot forget the Knights are the kings. So it's all very established, very stable energy. So you come from a very grounded place here, or we come from a very grounded place here. We know that it might take also hard work. We've established a place where we can maybe feel like we materially are safe enough or are stable enough or grounded enough. That doesn't mean we all need to be rich, but we have our ducks in a row. We feel like we can really create the reality that we want. We can establish on a material level also the reality that feels comfortable, that feels safe, that feels grounded, that feels secure, that feels healthy also in a way. And with that, we can go into maybe this higher plane of manifesting emotional ideals, because we have this very grounded space here within us. Even though the following of the elements would be fire, water, air, and then earth. Earth is actually in the tarot the highest element. But once we get to everything we want to have, in a sense, to feel stable and grounded, we might aspire to higher grounds. And I think this is what's happening here. We're aspiring, it's very beautiful, you know, when you look at this, it's a very beautiful image as well. This knight here is looking at this very intense idea of how do I become the person, or how do I get a strategy to really be more emotionally fulfilled, or not hungry anymore. Because we all know, even sometimes when we have all the money, all the stuff, all the financial security on the bank account, the grounded job, the nice garden, whatever it is that you always wanted to establish for yourself, it doesn't mean that we are interconnected with people on a level that it makes us fulfilled. So this might be a topic here. But yeah, anyway, I love this. Very, very beautiful. Very strong. Ooh, the 9 of Wands. Yes. And this all is coming out of a sense of also, I like to say the 9 of Wands is a card of experience, integrated experience. Some people in other decks, you know, they call it the wounded warrior or whatever, somebody who is having their guard up. But in this deck, it's called strength. So we have all these experiences, all these things that we wanted and that we also accomplished, all these fun and not so fun things we did, we acted on, we made happen, and therefore we gained a lot of, we've came very far, and this is the point where we are really very connected to our highest self, the sun, and the moon, our subconscious. It's kind of a very strong connection towards these two, so we can dig deep into ourselves to really feel like we are an established, strong, also spiritual in a way, human being. And I like to see this, it's interesting, I just like to see this card always as kind of a human body, where the sun is the head and the moon is like a deeper place within us, and the connection between them, this red thicker wand, is kind of the spine. I don't know why, but we're very connected with our power, but that power comes, or that strength, I would say, comes more out of experience, out of everything we've seen, everything we've experienced so far. The 2 of Cups, love. Wow, I didn't see that coming on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, and we're going into the relationship reading in a second, so this is beautiful. Yes, how do we interconnect? And I say interconnect very consciously, because it is really about balance with the 2 of Cups, that we can pour into each other and take from each other in a balanced level. And this is what this card is representing. How can we establish that? Maybe you've seen that is possible with maybe one certain person around you. Maybe you've just seen that this is how you want to live your life. You know, you want to live your life more on a level of deeper connection with people in general. So that might, you know, be the missing link here to this 10 of Cups, because it seems like you've established so much for yourself that you want to share. And this is when we share the love. This is when we share the love one-on-one. In every interaction we have, we can always share the love. You know, we don't have to go into a deep talk with a person. We can just be kind and radiate an energy of openness and kindness. And understanding, very much so as well. And the understanding is very much here with all the experience you have. So wow, I love this, Leo. This is like a beautiful, beautiful moment of finding connection with what suits you, I think. So let's see how that translates into relationships. This can be any relationship, you know. I think this is a lot about interrelating with human beings, other beings, like beings in general, you know. But you can think of one specific person, of course, but it can also just be people who are in your environment right now and what you're sensing from them. So we have an Emperor here. Somebody, it didn't want to fall into the regular position, so I'm going to keep it here. The Emperor, somebody is like very on top of their game, it seems like. Maybe you're having a person around you that have a very stable foundation. They know how to what to do. They know how to act. When this is a female energy or a male energy, it doesn't matter. Somebody, maybe when it's a feminine energy, somebody might have really integrated their male parts or their masculine parts very well. And they also know how to take the leadership role. They know what they want. If this is male energy, of course, they have established and stepped into a very stable and established, I already said that word, but very stable position where they also are on top of their game. So this is nice. We attract something very grounded. This other person, ooh, and also they're in a healing process maybe, or healed. It could be that they're Sagittarius, doesn't have to be, or Aries. That's two fire elements with Leo in combination. That would be maybe, in my opinion, a little crazy, but you know, it's just, oh sorry. I wanted to kind of give you a little bit of more of a look of the cards. Maybe somebody found the right solution for love, I want to say, or for connecting with people, or for working with people, and they're coming from a very stable place. It could be that they're very, yeah, that wanted to come out, controlling, a little bit controlling, but I don't see it as, because with the Temperance card in combination, it's not it shouldn't be an unbalanced thing. It should be like, okay, yes, I know what I want, I know how to get there, I know what to do, but at the same time I'm not that type of person who goes overboard or constantly over the boundaries or constantly into the extremes. That would be the Temperance card, and they might even have a solution for you. Maybe now you're connecting with people where you're like, oh, this is where I can learn, or this is what I'm attracted to, because this seems very, very artful in a way, also very balanced, very solution oriented, definitely solution oriented person here. And at the same time, in this deck there's two Temperance cards, which is, I find very interesting. And in this deck it could be a feminine energy who is very also emancipated. Also in her sexuality, obviously. So yeah, I will not censor my cards because my videos are only for people over 18. So if you are under 18, you will have to deal with some boobs. I'm European. It's not a big deal. And that's exactly what the Temperance is saying here, you know, this is a Temperance card. So now we have on your side the Nine of Cups. So Nine of Cups in combination with the Knight of Pentacles is you've established your emotional abundance, or you are establishing your emotional independence, and that's a better way to put it. It's really about us being able to draw that happiness, that joy, those good feelings out of ourselves without having to rely on somebody else for it. And with the Six of Swords, this feels successful. I like the Six of Swords, how it's falling out here, because now we might try to take that step from the 9 to the 10. How can we get out of that self-reliant, which is not a bad thing, you know, it's a very good thing to establish that, and it's perfect row in general, and in particular here, from the 9 to the 10. Of course, now that we've established this way of being emotionally independent, now we want to figure out how to share, and we might, I mean, obviously we need another person. Obviously we need another person to learn, and you might be learning from somebody here in a deeper connection, you know, and this is very, very, very beautiful. It could be more people. It could really be more people. It could also be a healer. Maybe you want to, you know, interact. This is very much healer energy on many levels, you know. It's authority as well. Ooh, the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, I mean, beautiful, 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 beautiful. With the Ace of Pentacles, we can plant a seed with those type of people, you know, those types of people who are, and I think this is really about finding those types of people who are balanced and in control, but at the same time not controlling in a bad sense, because it seems like there's something you still want to work through, you know. With Three of Swords, there's still, and we all have that. I mean, it's not, you know, the Three of Swords is a constant thing that you just, in my opinion and in my way of reading the cards, that you just learn how to handle differently. And this is mostly just wounds triggered 99% of the time. Of course, the Three of Swords can also be something very real where somebody is breaking your heart, but it's still wounds triggered in a sense that when we want to go really far back, that a separation is always different, and separation of the mind and the heart, in a sense, and when it's not meeting each other on the, when you're not meeting people on the same plane or frequency, which would be this emotionally, and when the mind gets in the way, we have the Nine of Swords here, then it could be a really strong dissonance, and that is an emotional attack or wound, which might be conscious or unconscious from other people, but it creates sorrow, which this card is called, and it's often a heartbreak card, you know, but it is something that just happens between humans all the time, and we can, I don't think we can prevent it, even if we're healed really. I think we can just learn how to react to it better, and maybe protect ourselves a little bit. But if we get overprotective, then we are standing in the way of this connection. So it is a little tricky, and I think this is exactly the thing that not a lot of people have established, you know, but an Emperor with a Temperance, they might have established exactly that. So this is also spiritual learning, higher learning, etc., etc. So yeah, the Ace of Pentacles is here a wonderful beginning, a wonderful seed that we can plant with people who seem like they have their SHIT under control, and at the same time are creative and balanced and have some stuff to share for other people to work with. So beautiful, I love it. Let's maybe, just maybe, I have a friend who is a Leo, is making fun of me When I say maybe, because I like to say that all the time. So let's maybe pull another card of this deck, just for the relationships. Detachment. Interesting. The detachment card came out in the earlier reading, one reading before you, and it is Venus in Aquarius, and it's a little, it is a little tricky to understand that, because Venus is about all the beautiful things and about love and so on and so forth, and Aquarius, let's call it artificial intelligence, it's AI. So how can we bring those two parts of the spectrum together? And in a way, it's like you can't. You kind of separate. There is this sense of separation, I think, still. Publicity. That's a Leo card. Decision. I'm not sure what this means, but maybe you're in the public eye, and maybe you're also connecting with a person because you think it would give you publicity. I don't know. I would not advise. But it is a decision-making process that is going on in July here, and there might be a lot of options because we have Mars in Gemini, and that's an intense card. We're constantly like ping-ponging in our mind. So take your time, you know, take your time, and you're also, remember, we're working with the other person as well. It's not only it's an interaction. So let's have it an interaction and not necessarily a chess game. All right, dear Leo, that was an intense reading. Thank you so much for being here. Please check out the description box. Please leave me a like, subscribe, comment, and see what else I do with my life besides the tarot. And yeah, thank you so much, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.